In a dramatic twist in the saga between Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets, a new report suggests that while Rodgers intends to play in 2025, he has no desire to do so with the Jets. The tension between the two sides, already simmering, could be on the brink of boiling over. This latest revelation follows recent comments from Jets owner Woody Johnson, who reportedly suggested the possibility of benching Rodgers after the team's disappointing Week 4 loss to the Denver Broncos. Now, according to Dianna Russini of TheAthletic, Rodgers has firmly made it clear that his future in the NFL doesn't include the Jets. Just 10 days ago, Rodgers publicly expressed his desire to play again in 2025. However, now it seems that his relationship with the Jets has soured to the point where a return to the team isn't in the cards. The writing appears to be on the wall. It's not just a matter of whether Rodgers will return this season, but whether he'll even stay with the team moving forward. Rodgers, never one to shy away from the spotlight, is likely to address this drama head-on in his upcoming media appearances. On Tuesday, he'll sit down with Pat McAfee and AJ Hawk for his usual candid chat, where he will almost certainly be pressed on these latest developments. Expect a bit of grumbling from Rodgers, possibly followed by some veiled frustration about leaks and media speculation. But the heart of the matter will be whether he still wants to play for the Jets in 2025, or whether he's already mentally checked out. Then on Wednesday, Rodgers will have his regularly scheduled press conference, where reporters will likely follow up with more pointed questions regarding his future with the team. Will he be playing out the string for the rest of the season? Will he be benched or placed on injured reserve? And with all the rumors swirling, will he be cut loose? All of these questions loom large as Rodgers' future with the Jets grows increasingly uncertain. The timing couldn't be more interesting, as just this week, the New York Giants released quarterback Daniel Jones. If Rodgers feels the Jets might soon follow suit and bench him, he could look at Jones' release as a precedent. In an ironic twist, Rodgers may even look to use his influence, perhaps his last move as the Jets' unofficial general manager, to push for another major shakeup, like convincing the team to part ways with star receiver Davante Adams, someone Rodgers has long been connected with. At this point, it seems as though the Jets and Rodgers are heading for a split, but exactly how it plays out, whether through injury, benching, or even an outright release, is still up in the air. What is clear, however, is that the Jets' decision to part ways with Rodgers, if that happens, could be one of the most dramatic quarterback changes in recent NFL history. And with Rodgers, there's never a dull moment. So expect this story to unfold in the most unpredictable way possible. Hey there, football fans, American football. It's time for some QB drama, and we're talking the good kind. No, not the kind where your team loses by 40 points and everyone's pointing fingers. I mean the real drama: who's going to quarterback your team in 2025? And in particular, what's going on with the legend, Aaron Rodgers, and his future with the New York Jets? Is he finished? Or does he have one more magical season left in him? Spoiler alert, it's more complicated than a 4-minute drill with no timeouts. So grab your popcorn, because we're diving into the quarterback carousel, where trades, injuries, and career-ending decisions all swirl together like a perfectly thrown Hail Mary pass. Let's start the show. A look back in time, Brett Favre and the Jets' hot mess express. First, let's rewind a bit. Back in 2008, we watched a spectacle that, quite frankly, looked like a QB disaster waiting to happen. Enter Brett Favre, with his ancient throwing arm and questionable retirement status, playing for the New York Jets. The team was cruising at 8-3, feeling good about their playoff chances. And then, bam! Favre's shoulder, more fragile than a one-ply toilet paper, started to fall apart. Now, Favre had his own issues, but for those of you who think Rodgers is too old for this game, don't forget about Brett. The Jets ended the season on a tragic 1-4 slide, with Favre looking like a deer in the headlights. After 20 interceptions, yes, 20, Favre was practically waving goodbye to the NFL. Spoiler alert, he wasn't done. In one of the NFL's most bizarre second acts, Favre went on to play a near MVP-level season for the Minnesota Vikings. The man didn't know the meaning of retirement. Now, fast forward to 2024, we're looking at Aaron Rodgers, who's trying to navigate life with a torn Achilles like he's auditioning for the next superhero movie. But is his story over? Or is there another plot twist in the making? The Rodgers dilemma, to stay or to go? Rodgers is still eyeing a return in 2025. And frankly, so are we. We need to know if there's still some magic left in his arm, or if it's time to call it quits and live out his days as a guest on the Pat McAfee show. But with the Jets in complete shambles, Does Aaron want his final memory in the NFL to be the mess that is this season? Sources close to him say, nope. He doesn't want the Jets' implosion to define his career. And let's face it, if Rodgers didn't play for the Jets, we wouldn't even be talking about this tragic sitcom of a season. So where could Aaron Rodgers land in 2025? Let's take a look at a few teams that might just be eyeing the future Hall of Famer. San Francisco 49ers, can Shanahan work his magic? Why it could happen, Shanahan's been eyeing Rodgers like a hawk since 2021. He's spoken about him as if Rodgers is the missing piece to his Super Bowl dreams. If healthy, the 49ers roster is stacked and could be the perfect place for Rodgers to have one final hurrah, just like Favre did in Minnesota. Plus, Aaron's not about to sign up for a team that's rebuilding. He wants a shot at a Super Bowl now. Why it won't happen, Brock Purdy is on the rise, and the 49ers are sticking with him long term. A Purdy extension is already in the works, and Kyle Shanahan's not about to disrupt his future by adding a 41-year-old Rodgers. Even if Rodgers is willing to play for peanuts, it seems like a long shot. Los Angeles Rams, McVay might want a vet. Why it could happen, Sean McVay was interested in Rodgers in 2021. But Stafford came along. And that was that. But what if Stafford's done? What if McVay gets desperate for a one-year quarterback to chase a Super Bowl? Rodgers is, after all, a LA guy. And with some offensive talent around him, he might just be tempted by the weather, the fame, and a final shot at glory. Why it won't happen, the Rams are in salary cap hell. Rodgers would need to play for cheap, and the Rams are too busy planning for the future with younger players. Rodgers might just be a temporary fix. But that doesn't seem like a great long-term play for the Rams. Minnesota Vikings, a rematch of Favre's glory days? Why it could happen, it's the NFL's version of déjà vu. Favre went from the Jets to the Vikings and had an almost magical season. Why not Rodgers? The Vikings roster would give Rodgers the tools to shine. Plus there's that sweet revenge angle, sticking it to the Packers and the Jets. Why it won't happen, it would be an absolute drama bomb. With Sam Darnold leaving in free agency and the team focused on rookie J.J. McCarthy, bringing Rodgers in would mess up the Vikings' long-term plans. Not to mention, there's only room for one drama king in the NFC North. The rest of the field, some curious candidates. Seattle Seahawks, maybe if Geno Smith falters. But Rodgers isn't really a step up here. Not unless desperation strikes. Cleveland Browns, can you imagine Rodgers in Cleveland? Neither can we. The Browns have enough QB drama of their own. Tennessee Titans, the Titans are rebuilding. Rodgers isn't about that life. Indianapolis Colts, same situation as the Titans. Rodgers isn't there to mentor a young QB. Las Vegas Raiders, with bad ownership and Davante Adams probably already telling Rodgers, nope, this doesn't feel like a fit. Miami Dolphins, if Tua Tagovailoa gets hurt again, Rodgers could step in. But let's hope Tua stays healthy. Carolina Panthers, this is a hard pass. Rodgers is too big time for a complete rebuild. New York Giants, if desperation strikes. The Giants might look Rodgers' way. But would Rodgers want to play in another disaster zone? New Orleans Saints, see Cleveland. But with more gumbo. Retirement, the most likely scenario. Why it could happen, retirement is looking more and more realistic. But Rodgers can't go out like this. He's not going to let his final years in the NFL be defined by the Jets' nightmare. He'll fight to the very end. Even if it means playing for a team with no chance of winning. Final thoughts. Rodgers' future is uncertain. But it sure makes for one heck of a story. Will he get one more chance to lead a team to glory? Or will he retire quietly and take up knitting? No matter what happens, the football world will be watching. Hey, before you go, if you love the drama, the speculation, or just want to keep up with all things NFL, make sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and share this video with your fellow football fans. We'll be back with more updates, so don't miss out. See you next time. American Football Movie Camera.